It's interesting to me that there's a bunch of people that could say, because you get on The Walking Dead and you're on it from the beginning, and it's such this iconic character you get to play, and you really nail it, and then famously you're killed not just once but twice.
Oh yeah.
Because you can't take Jon Bernthal out with just one. You got to. Trust me, I've tried. This man will not die, and so. But you get off the series, and so there are a lot of people that might think, and then that's just obviously the series is just starting to gain momentum, and so there might be some people that would think, well, shit, I wish I could have stayed on for 10 years, 11 years. But actually, I think for someone like you, that frees you up. In its own way, it's a gift, because then you get to go on and do all these other things and show who you are and show different sides of yourself. So to me, I often think there are many times in my life where I've thought, damn it, it's over.
It's over.
I screwed up, it's over, or I wanted something to go my way, it didn't go my way, and I'm done. And I guess that's it. And then when I later on Google Earth and look at the whole picture, I realized that was the greatest thing that could have happened to me at that moment.
Of course, yeah. It's always. I really try to exercise not calling it, not saying it's one way or the other. Sure, at the time, I was like, well, this is right. This is just in line with everything else that's ever happened in my life. It's like, here we are. I finally got on the show. It's finally taken off, and boom, they got me the hell out of there. Like, pack up your shit and go. And I remember going back to The Walking Dead to go pick up my truck. And I remember like walking out and seeing them sort of shoot this first episode that I wasn't going to be in. And I wanted to go say goodbye to everyone. And instead of saying goodbye, I just sat on this rock in the woods and just watched this beautiful sort of symphony of the barn was on fire and there were all these zombies. And I saw Norman doing his thing and Scott Wilson, rest in peace, just standing out on the, bellowing and just this beautiful, crew and these people. They were my family. And I saw them all working. And I just palpably understood that's I'm not part of that anymore. That's they're doing their thing. And I sat there and I wept and I felt sorry for myself and I knew it was over. And look, the only thing I can look at with Walking Dead is just unbelievable, just full gratitude. It's just full gratitude. Like what a privilege, what an honor, what a thing to play a character with a real beginning, middle, and end. But more than anything, Steven and Norman and Scott and Melissa and Irony and Sarah and Andy. I mean, these are like lifelong friends who really taught me how to be an artist and a father and a husband all at the same time, and to trim so much fat off your life and whittle it down. And those are the guys. I mean, those are my closest friends, in this business. And those guys. I mean, they're beautiful human beings.
Yeah, I've interviewed I think I've interviewed everyone you've mentioned. They're great people.
Great people.
I would have handled that differently. I would have been sitting on the truck and watching them shoot a scene without me now that I'm gone, and I would have just started screaming, I don't fucking need you!
Ruining every take.
You needed me! And they'd be like, cut! Conan, can you please? You had 2 good years. And roll! Let's go! Action!
Can we get him out of
here? Fuck you! And then I'd do like donuts in my truck and be knocking over zombies. They'd be like, come on, man!
Right. Blaring some Danzig. Yeah, no, I don't know, man. I'll say it. I just like,
You'll regret this!
Yeah. And I think it's also okay to feel a second of that pain or to wonder but yeah, looking back at it without a doubt, doing that show was the best thing that ever happened to me in my career. And then I think getting killed off was the best thing that ever happened to me in my career. And I'm flabbergasted and grateful for all of it.